Good morning. Good morning, guys. Welcome to iPod Smart. Yesterday was felt like we had the results of yesterday already when we made the video, because pretty much everything worked exactly how we said it's going to do. Not every day is the same, so let's have a look at today. We start off with a 33-1 top rated in the form of Fury Nocturne. Diego de Gabea takes the ride today after Greg Shane debuted on it, backed in 8-3-1. Then later, Greg Shane was backed in again 5-4-1, and on his fourth run, with JP on board, it got a merit rating of 82, so I guess the handicapper saw something in it. You see the first run here, the adjusted time of 59.13 is pretty close to the best, and I feel we should maybe give it another chance, and 4-1 for a top four does seem pretty decent. Fury Nocturne. The second choice is, well, we're not knowing what the strength is of the first timers. So from the race runners, Donderstorm, Brett Crawford, and Corne Offer is currently at 12-1. So if those two runs first and second in the bipod, then the bipod is obviously paying plenty. The third choice, Master Point, third run rested, showed a little bit of improvement previous run. On that 7th of the 9th run, it's supposed to finish ahead of Fury Nocturne because Master Point was 6 lengths behind the winner on that run. Oh, that must be two different maidens, because the 1250 maiden here 6 lengths behind the winner, and Fury Nocturne was on the same day 8th, but 4.9 lengths behind the winner. And the adjusted times, Fury Nocturne 60.88 now carries one more. Master Point was 60.41, and now from a 13 draw is on the same weight. So that's the third choice. Then Stratospheric. There's a bit of support in the market for Stratospheric at 6-1. It opened, oh no, it opened at 3-1. It's currently at 6-1. So the support is all for the first timers, but Stratospheric has been gelded, returning from a rest, so we don't know, it could be anything. Then the favorite that's been backed in is Max the Otter. Now, it ran 1,000 Kenilworth yielding conditions at a 62.9 adjusted time, was backed in from 3-2, the back figure only of 13, which leads me to believe that this might be the diversion for Bass Robinson, since Charlie Malone is returning, and Charlie Malone is also Candice Bass Robinson, and you can see the odds here: 1.33, 1.5, 1.3, backed in 3.3. Last run also backed in from 2.25 to 1.4. So I would not be surprised if Charlie Malone runs past Max the Otter and takes the win today at 8-1, since the stablemate is very much in the hunt when it comes to Durbanville and South African racing. So those would be my thoughts on race 1. There is not really much first-timer support except for Champion Warrior, and that is Brett Crawford and Luke Mokotwa. And again, here we sit with Donderweer, which is second rated, which is the stablemate to Champion Warrior for Luke Mokotwa. So I would very much be looking at the race runners from Crawford and Candice Bass Robinson as the two that might just come up and surprise here, which is Charlie Malone and Donderstorm. Yeah, I have some trust issues. So those are my thoughts for the first. On the second, I think this should be the best bet for the day, and it's called I'll Slip Away. And quite simply, if I look at the bat figures on the 42 day, it's 14 lengths better than the second best Head Girl. On the 84 days, it's 8 lengths better than the second best Sparkling Crystal. And on the 168 day form, it's still 6 lengths better than Sparkling Crystal. So all roads for me leads to I'll Slip Away. Also supported with P-stats from 12 races, a 42% chance to win on the greenie points, which is I'll Slip Away, 42% chance to win. And currently it's at 3.33 and 64% for the place, so that would definitely be a decent runner. If I open up the details here, you'll see what I mean as far as the the actual adjustment is on the bat figures, purely because that adjusted time of a 59.33 here makes it the best adjusted time in the field on his last run. And Kumalo was taking the ride. There's obviously intent, because now Keegan DeMille takes the ride, and if you look at the win place on the jockey, it's 100% probability to win for the season. Now I'll stick with 100% probability to win any day for 333%. So to confirm the backup of that is actually also, last time it was drifting from 4-1 into 14-1, but it still ran a 3.7 bat figure, which is like 10 lengths better than the rest of the field. You'll see Sparkling Crystal comes in at the same course and distance on a 11.19 bat, which the 3.7 is obviously 8 lengths better than that. So Sparkling Crystal is a red horse, meaning that they have already been playing with the merit rating. So they've been untraining the horse from a 67 to a 54, 13 merit rating points, or 6.5 kilos. It could be at the kind of weight now when they want to enter it into the handicap market, because it was maybe too high to play with it at that merit rating in the handicap market. If I look at the rest of the field, there's not much here. Head Girl is the third rated Andre Nel corner offer. It's the favorite, and did finish 2.25 lengths in soft going, but that bat figure of 17 is not even close to the 3.7. So yeah, I think that's a decent enough chance, and I'll slip away for the top 3. Then we move to the third race, and in the third race I'm going to go with Simply Beautiful as the top rated. Also has the best bat CD, exact course and exact distance. I'm not strong on it. I just think it should be given another chance. It was also favourite the last time, and today they are taking the blinkers off and replacing that with Alamites only. So you see the support here: 4 to 3, 2 to 3, 1.8 to 1.65, 1.2 to 1.65. And immediately once the public starts forgetting about it and all the sheep stops following, that's when it strikes. So Simply Beautiful, my first choice here in the first. You'll see the old bat figure of 4.35 here is pretty good. Another runner I'll definitely throw in here is Justin Snaith, now putting Mbele on board, and after that last run that was so great at 1200 Scottsville with a 59.58 adjusted time, the best in the field, he now brings it to Durbanville with that figure, giving him a 0.41 bat figure on Kamika at 12-1. So do not leave Kamika out of your racing here. But yeah, first choice Simply Beautiful, and second choice Kamika, which is currently at 12-1. Then here My Voice, it does have the best bat C, and there is some intentions because Richard Fourie gets booked, but not at 1.33. Come on, that's just silly. It's just not shown enough on the bat figures here at all to be worthy of a bet at that kind of price, but have to be thrown into the pick 6, I guess. So Simply Beautiful, Kamika, Hear My Voice, and then yeah, you could probably take a chance and maybe just add Red Kite and then leave the rest alone in your pick 6s, because Red Kite is an only runner for Patrick Kruier, does come back from a rest, and comes back from the rest with a red flame. In other words, it comes back better after the rest. If you look at the records here, the last time that it came back from a rest, it placed. So it's from a 1 draw, and it has had a lot of support in the market. So that's another one that you could be considering. All of these others looks like they'll just be out for a run on a Saturday morning. Race 4, and here the other decent runner to win the race, if I'm looking at my bat support here, is Future Turn. Now it's at 1.52 or 15-10, but if I'm looking at my bat 42 days here, it's like 9 lengths better than Impetuous, and Impetuous in red, so that means he could be better over this distance. So he is a bit of a concern, but maybe my only concern, that's why you see my fantasy picks, is those two. yeah, there's not much to say about this race. Maybe just except for bank a future turn in your pick six and add impetuous if you don't feel that it's good enough. Bet figures 10 races, top rated to win, support 53% chance on future turn to win, and that's better than half of the chances in the field. So yeah, if you want to pick six banker, future turn is your one. Race 5, a little bit more trickier, and for the pure reason is there's a lot of blanks here. If you look at your bat 42, there's nothing. Bat 84, there's nothing. And there's a lot of blanks here. So all of that blanks means they're all coming from a rest, which normally means that I'm looking at consistency when coming back. And there's nothing here that comes hot off a rest. There's only these little snowflakes. So none of these snowflakes is hot. If you're looking for a hot signal, then that would be what you're looking for coming back from a rest. So yeah, it's a race that is really not worthy of putting anything on the nose for me. Yeah, these figures here, all about Al flashed on the 0 here, but it wasn't soft going. And I'm looking further down. It's yeah, I'd go with all about Al as my first choice, but nothing strong. And then the two Snaith runners as my second and third choice, Kalahari Ferrari, and it's raining William. Those two. Kalahari Ferrari is the Richard Fourie horse, but I wouldn't throw away the top rate, the low weight of Mbele with the consistency bolt figure here. It's always in the money, and it's always been supported 6 into 4, 2 into 1, 3 into 0. So yeah, I'll give it another chance. But looking at the merit ratings here, you see all about Al is very high on the 89s here, and then Kalahari Ferrari is here on a 95 recently. So those would be the ones that I'm looking for. All about Al, it's raining William, Kalahari Ferrari, and then probably Yellow Porsche Road, because he does have the bat consistency figure here and serious support on his last run, 3 to 10 starter, which won very well. So those would be my main ones for exotics, but I'm not putting anything on the nose in that race. Race 6. Now, here's a decent price on a horse called All Lit Up. Only runner for Eric Sands. And you'll see this little icon here. It means it's getting older, so it's older than the field average. You see that number 1 for Eric Sands in green. That means it's his only runner. And you see that little joker next to it. It means that Eric Sands is a owner and a trainer in this race. So he owns the horse and he also trains the horse. And with a 80% place record at the track on Durbanville, if you look at the win and place on the track here, 80%, I would very much expect All Lit Up to be in the play here. That'll be my first choice. Second choice, Dragonfly from Candace at 5 to 1. And then Shifting Path, Silver Falcon, Tchaikovsky, again, could be anything from back from the rest. And yeah, Street Outlaw is the favorite and won on debut. Seriously supported 14 to 4. And then the second run, it ran fourth in yielding going with a bat figure of 17. Now, over the 1,000 meters, the bat figure was 2.2, and that does bring him into the field. But if he runs on his second run over the further 1,200 with a 17 bat, then it's not going to bring him anywhere. So he needs to reproduce his form that he had on the 1,000 over to the 1,200 to actually be competitive in this field. Maybe the last run was not a good run, but based on the data, I'm going to go with All Lit Up here. His last 1,400 run was the 0 bat, huge improvement, but it does have a backup support as the 6.01 at the 1250 Durbanville on the merit 78, and he was backed in at Durbanville on that run 7 into 4.5, and he's an only runner today, so that's my first choice. Race 7. Yeah, race 7, there's only been 3 races on the probability stat, so that doesn't help much. And there's again a lot of blanks here with no 42-day 84 form around here. So again, we're looking at Mbele for Snaith. So there's something interesting brewing there. And Mbele for Snaith, Giacomo Puccini, I actually prefer above Speed Machine, his stablemate. But my first choice is going to be from the Candace Bass Robinson stable. in the 2 runners African Rain and Resonate. Just looks like it's a Candace race. And then my next best is Giacomo Puccini, and then Speed Machine, and then yeah, Irish Morning. Dean Canema hasn't been in really good form, but he's an only runner, and he does have the consistency here, running his second run rest. So maybe another one to include in your pick six. And safe return, Kamala on board, best Bomberlock Curve, best Super Rule percentage. Those would be that. Nothing on the nose here in this race for me either. Race 8, and here I'm going to go with Futurismo, Andre Nel and corner offer that also won last week at Durbanville in the last race. Comes back with a change in gear from Alamite Blinkers to Alamite Tantai, and has been gelded and has corner offer again that won on the last races last time at Durbanville. I'm going to stick with him as my first choice, Futurismo, with Machete Man, Snaith and Demelo as the second one. But if Snaith wins the 7th race, then I'll be thinking more into the lines of Machete Man. Interesting that Keegan Demelo rides for Snaith here, and yeah, it's the first race for the day that he actually does. And then the favorite Galactic Path, Pete Buerta's only runner for Luke Mokotwa, that's riding very well at the moment. He's my third choice. Nothing else matters. He's my fourth choice with JP again. And then, yeah, I think that's your main competition here. Maybe the Andre Nel stablemate Policy Targets for a place in after that. And the then twice the Master and Keep Shining. 20 to 1 does pop in on high on the T curve, third on the T curve here, first on the intentions here. Leah Tarantal has only got 2 for the day. It's a Joker, Vaughan Marshall with coming back from a rest. And then Tarzetti with Fury at the bottom, and Incredible pops up here as the best bat C. I'll probably throw that into bigger perms as well if the stars aren't enough. Looking at the JTR combo, if I'm looking at which trainers are going to perform, I see decent here Andre Marcus on these runners here. Corner off for Andre Nel here is the second head goal, and follows it up at the back here with Futurismo. So I'll look at where head goal is following. Brett Crawford here with corner offer on Donderstorm, decent at 12 to 1. Candace Bash Robinson looks like a potential double here in race 6 and 7, as she's trying with Dragonfly potentially, and African Rain, or even Tchaikovsky Resonate. And then Eric Sands JP van der Merwe looks very strong on all lit up here as the only runner for the day. There's 1, 1, 1 and a 3. Glenn Cotson's strongest runner for the day is probably Master Point in the first, or the JP runner. Nothing else matters at the end here. And then Greg Enion, you can clearly see why Keegan Demelo and Greg Enion looks very strong here on I'll Slip Away. Justin Snaith, Richard Fareed does pop up strong here, where the double's going to happen around here, where that's Future Turn, and then followed up with Kalahari Ferrari or It's Raining William. And also at the back here with Keegan Demelo with Machete Man, and with that as Giacomo Puccini in front of Speed Machine. Lucinda Woodruff looks extremely strong here for 16 to 1, now 33 to 1 Future Nocturne, which is like ones in everything, which is really nice for something that's 33 to 1. Mike Stewart and Mokotwa is clearly showing the intent here. 7th rated jockey in the country pops up here with strong, Simply Beautiful. Paul Reeves books Richard Fourie here for a reason on Hear My Voice. And that's all you're going to hear from my voice today. That's me, guys. If I look at the JTR detail just to see if there's anything standing out strong for the race, that 2.7 to 3.68. Now, if you get a 2.73 average out of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 runners, 14 runners in the field, and it averages 2.73 out of 14 at 33 to 1, that's worthy of a top 4 place in my eyes. And there's a decent 0.95 gap to the next one, which is Donderstorm. Yeah, I can't speak for these first timers in the race, but top 4 certainly looks decent enough. Then, yeah, Greg Enion, 1.59 average is the lowest on I'll Slip Away with 11 of the 22 TRC, top rate counting here. And then the second best is a cover as Sparkling Crystal at 14 to 1. And then there's a big gap, 2.27 to 4.17. So maybe that's the play. The top 2 there. Race 3. Decent enough, Mike Stewart, Simply Beautiful. To then 2.82 on Hear My Voice. Those two is enough for your PA. Race 4, serious 1.43 average out of 24689. 16 of the 22 top rated in this race. So future turn already won. In the fifth race, very close, 3.2, 3.2, 3.3. The top three is all together now. All about Al and Kalahari Ferrari, and it's raining William is all very close together, but yeah, the field also looks very close there on those points. Then at 2.14 to 2.61 for Eric Sands, only around the JP all lit up, and Dragonflight 5 with Candace. And then there's a bit of a gap to the third one here, Silver Falcon. The seventh, very close, 3.3, 3.3, then 4, 4.2, 4.3, 4.3. Could probably get to up to the 4.32 here if you want to be confident in the last race of the jackpot, second last race of the pick 6, which is pretty much the reconciliation leg of the exotics. And then race 8. First three again, 3.6 Futurismo, 3.62 Machete Man, and 3.8 Galactic Path, and then there's a nice gap to the rest. So look at these gaps, guys. They are really worthwhile in making use of them for your exotics. And now you've heard enough of me. Have a great day.